Hi, Dr. Hennessy. June 6th, 2021, COVID-19 update, maybe, hopefully, possibly even final video or nearly final video. I just wanted to summarize one aspect about this COVID-19 virus, pandemic, infection, is the mode of transmission. I just wanted to point out one final time that the mode of transmission or the modes of transmission have not been fully investigated or defined. Right now, for instance, they have these mystery cases in Australia, and I think one of the big problems in the understanding of the transmission of the virus is that we didn't fully investigate the modes of transmission. There's probably more than one. There may be some aerosol transmission, fomite transmission. The fecal-oral route hasn't been investigated, and not that I'm aware of. Again, as of this date, no exhaled breath studies have been done that I'm aware of, and I'm pretty much, I get the COVID news feed through the New England Journal. I think I would have seen them. So, you know, that to me is the most glaring deficiency in the scientific community in this pandemic, is that nobody's done any scientific experiments. Not really scientific experiments. They, as I mentioned before, you know, they equated the ability to collect nasopharyngeal RNA with shedding a virus, which is not how science is done. Just jumping to conclusions and making assumptions, that's not science. So yeah, I mean, the ability to measure COVID-19 in exhaled breath is in existence, has been in existence. The statisticians can easily calculate for you based on the seroprevalence of the infection, the percentage and frequency of asymptomatic individuals in the community who are exhaling COVID-19, or if COVID-19 is exhaled by asymptomatic people, the number of people that are doing that. That can be calculated. Then an experiment could very easily be set up where, the statisticians could easily calculate the number of people that had to be tested to either validate or refute that theory. I mean, I'm not saying that the theory is wrong. It's a theory, though. But an experiment could be easily conducted that would validate it, measure the exhaled breath. You know? But I think the actual reality of the infection, the timeline, all of that, I think that tends more towards fomite transmission. And that's why they have these mystery cases. They can't understand it. There was no direct contact between these people. Well, obviously not. So somebody's touching something, and then they could be 5,000 miles away by the time the other person comes, up to a few days later, and touches it, gets infected. And that also could explain, well, why would only one person out of several possible people, why would there be if it's just floating in the air, wouldn't everybody that breathes that air get infected? How come it's just one person? Maybe because it's not in the air. Maybe it's on a surface, and that person is the only one who touched that surface and then touched their face. Same way with the hotel quarantine transmission in Australia. Was it a 27-second window when two doors were open at the same time? Or was it maybe that the workers collected the food tray, which was contaminated, took it down to the kitchen, and even though they're using gloves, and transmitted it from their gloves to some other surface, which then got transmitted to some other surface that went back into the other room and contaminated the person. I mean, I'm not saying that's how it happened, but it's possible. All right, so that's all I really wanted to say about the COVID, is that, again, a final note on dissatisfaction that no actual studies were done measuring exhaled breath of asymptomatic people.